Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. In a few weeks, Nigerians may be finding out those who stole from the country. A federal high court in Lagos has ordered the federal government to immediately release to Nigerians information about suspected looters. The judgment was delivered by Justice Hadiza Shagari following a suit filed by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP. Just last year, the federal government disclosed it had recovered billions of dollars from some high-ranking public and private officials. He may be out of office, but he's still in the spotlight for the wrong reasons. Nigeria's former president, Goodluck Jonathan, has been summoned to explain his role in the controversial sale of the uphold 245 oil block. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission is currently charging a former Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, and multinational oil firms Shell Nigeria Limited and ENI for the illegal sale of the oil block. At today's plenary, lawmakers in the House of Representatives said Nigeria's former president, Jonathan, must appear before it to give evidence on his role in the matter. Uphold 245, considered the richest in Africa, is estimated to contain about 9 billion barrels of crude oil. It was sold for $1.3 billion in 2011. The Nigerian army has confirmed one soldier has been killed in an ambush by Boko Haram terrorists. A statement from the army says the soldier died while the army successfully repelled an attack on its base in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. The army also killed 3 insurgents and several arms and ammunition were recovered from them. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Air Force says it has foiled plans by Boko Haram terrorists to regroup in Zambiza Forest, Borno State, northeast Nigeria. After a long battle with the Nigerian government, former majority leader of the Nigerian Senate, Ali Ndume, has been cleared of charges accusing him of sponsoring the Boko Haram terrorist sect. He was acquitted by a federal high court in Abuja. Ndume was arraigned in 2011 on a 4-count charge bordering on terrorism brought against him by the federal government.
Copiously that justice has not only been done, but manifestly done. This case has been very tedious. We started in 2011, indictment of terrorism, but today the court has heard, and rightly so, that such allegations are not true and they are most unfounded.
In the Nigerian judicial system. So ever when I was arraigned before this court of law, I believe that no matter how long it takes, by God's grace, justice will prevail and I will be vindicated. That's all I can say. The justice has been done and I thank God that I have been alive up to the time to end of this case. My life was attempted on. So many senators have died that are well healthy. So I'm glad and I'm happy. I thank Almighty God that I'm alive and this judgment has passed. Any other thing will depend on my people, my learned people, that will move forward. But I want to add that what has been heard is the side of the government that was trying to indict me. I have not been heard. After consultation with my lawyers, I think Nigerians deserve to know what actually happened, who is Ndume, and all that. But the little of it you have heard in the court of law. I was a member of the presidential committee that has a responsibility.
More on our top stories. Advocacy group Bring Back Our Girls is slamming the Nigerian government for remaining silent on the reported abduction of 16 female police officers by Boko Haram in Borno State, northeast Nigeria. The group is also condemning the Nigerian police force for its late response and claimed that only 2 officers were missing in the ambush. A statement by the group called the abduction another Chibok girls-like tragedy. The women were reportedly abducted while traveling for the burial rites of a deceased police officer. 150 people have been confirmed dead after a 3-day land dispute between 2 communities in Cross River State. The Director General of the Cross River State Emergency Management Agency, John Inaku, says over 4,000 victims who fled as a result of the deadly encounter are now taking refuge in Oju local government area of Benue State. It's now believed that 14,000 people have been displaced and over 1,200 houses destroyed in the mayhem. Members of the Federal Executive Council observed a 1-minute silence in honor of late elder statesman Maitama Sule. The acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who just returned from the 29th African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, presided over the meeting. He restated the message of unity in Nigeria, which he says the late patriarch preached throughout his lifetime. Maitama Sule died on Monday in a hospital in Egypt while undergoing treatment for an unnamed illness. He was buried on Tuesday in accordance with Islamic rites in Kano State. Kogi State Senator Dino Malai has run to the Nigerian Senate for cover over attempts to recall him from the upper chamber. Malaya begged his colleagues to save him from being recalled by his constituents. The appeal comes as the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) unveiled a timetable and modalities for the exercise at his Kogi West Senatorial District. The senator restated his claim that his recall was masterminded by his state governor, Yahaya Bello. Police in Osun State have arrested another gang of ritualists alleged to have killed a 400-level student of the Osun State University in Oshogbo. Timilehin Shonibare was reported missing last month by authorities. This makes it the third time within a month ritualists would be arrested with human parts in that state. Meanwhile, Osun students took to the streets of Oshogbo on Wednesday morning, dressed in black to express their grief over the killing of the student Timilehin. Even though the protest turned violent, eventually, Commissioner of Police in Osun State says calm has now been restored in the state. The Taraba State House of Assembly has commenced public hearing on the proposed anti-open grazing and ranches establishment bill. This will prevent recurring clashes between herdsmen and farmers in that state. The public hearing for the southern zone will hold in Wukari on Thursday, while a similar exercise will be conducted in Bali for the central zone on Saturday. A federal high court in Abuja has ordered an interim forfeiture of sums of 500 million naira and $500,000 reportedly looted from the Paris Club refunds. The sum of money recovered from two firms were allegedly linked to the governor of Zamfara State and chairman of the Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdulaziz Yari. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission alleged that the money was fraudulently diverted from the NGF's bank account on the instruction of the governor. Still on Nigeria's anti-corruption agency, EFCC has arrested a former governor of Jigawa State, Senator Saminu Turaki. The former governor was arrested by operatives of the anti-graft agency in Abuja. Turaki had been declared wanted by the EFCC for allegedly failing to present himself for trial on corruption charges since 2011.
The Wole Soyinka Center for Investigative Journalism, in partnership with the MacArthur Foundation, specially invite you to the Wole Soyinka Center Media Lecture Series. Theme: Light Up, Light In, interrogating the nexus between electricity and basic education in Nigeria. Date: Thursday, 13th July 2017. Venue: Shehu Musa Yar'Adua Center, 1 Memorial Drive, Central Business District, Abuja. Time: 10 a.m. Lead speakers: Anthony Aka, Acting Chairman, Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, and Hamid Bubuyi, Executive Secretary, Universal Basic Education Commission. Discussant: Edward Cullen, United Nations Humanitarian Coordinator, UNDP Resident Representative, Obiageli Ezekwesili, Senior Economic Advisor, African Economic Development Policy Initiative, Ime Okon, Project Manager, USAID Energy Power Africa Nigeria, Olabisi Obadofin, Professor of Counseling Psychology, Lagos State University, LASU. Bemiga Ogunleye, Provost, Nigeria Institute of Journalism. Moderator, Al-Kazim Abdul Qadri, Journalist and Director, Victim Support Fund. For inquiries, email wscij@wscij.org or call 0908-251-5179. Be there.
You're watching TV360 News now. Up next, it's business news with Fidelia Aguncha.
Thank you, Thelma. Nigeria's cabinet has approved a national gas policy that aims to reduce the country's dependence on crude oil by increasing gas exploration and facilities. The policy was passed in last week's cabinet session, but was only made public on Wednesday. Nigeria has the world's 9th largest proven gas reserves at 187 trillion cubic feet. A move to using gas could reduce the drain on foreign exchange that importing refined oil products requires. The federal government has said it borrowed 3.57 trillion naira between June 2015 and March 2017 to finance budget deficits. The government said this in response to an inquiry by a media outlet which sought to know what use the government had put the funds being borrowed in the last 2 years from external and local sources too. In response, the Debt Management Office hinted that the domestic borrowing was warehoused in the Consolidated Revenue Funds account with the Central Bank of Nigeria for funding budget deficits. Oil prices fell more than 1% on Wednesday as climbing OPEC exports and a stronger dollar turned sentiment more bearish. Brent crude futures was down 57 cents to trade at $49.4 a barrel, while US crude futures fell by 63 cents to trade at $46.44 a barrel. The rise in export comes despite OPEC's vow to restrain production until March 2018. Meanwhile, Nigeria and Libya are both exempted from that output pact. That's all on business. More stories coming up. Stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
Mr. Job! Mr. Job! What is it now?
What is it now?
Please turn down the volume of your music. It's too loud.
And how is that your business?
It is disturbing me. I can't sleep.
And the same way you are disturbing my right to good music and where I enjoy it. What's wrong with you? Is any other person complaining?
Maybe we thought that you have lost your mind. Are you having a party?
I'm just respecting you, sir. You remember I paid my husband too.
You will not understand why we are complaining because you do not care about other people except yourself. Look, the transformation we need in this country begins in this compound.
Yes, now.
From you and I. This your selfishness is an offshoot of corruption. And corruption not in my country. Oh, you know, go to your bank. Go.
Corruption not in my country.
Five people, including at least one child, were killed when a shell landed on a beach near Mitiga Airport in Libya's capital. At least 18 people were injured, according to reports from Tripoli hospitals. Tripoli is home to a patchwork of armed groups, some of which share control of Mitiga and the surrounding areas. South Africa's governing African National Congress, ANC, still plans to withdraw the country from the International Criminal Court. The government announced its plans to withdraw from the ICC 2 years ago. ICC is due to announce on Thursday whether South Africa broke the law in failing to arrest Sudan's President Omar al-Bashir during a visit to the country in 2015. President Bashir is charged with genocide in connection with the conflict in Darfur. Super Eagles legend Vincent Enyama has been technically fired from his French club Lille. The 34-year-old is one of 10 players asked to find a new club by new manager Marcelo Bielsa. Enyama, who joined Lille in June 2011 and has made 164 appearances, had signed a new deal with the club last year. Nigerian officials approached Anthony Joshua's agent for a chance to host his rematch against Vladimir Klitschko in the country's capital of Abuja. According to Eddie Hearn, he currently has 2 offers from Nigeria. He also has offers from China and Dubai. He is expected to make a decision on the location of the rematch next week. That rematch is expected to be in October this year. Argentina's captain Lionel Messi has signed a new 4-year contract with Barcelona. The new deal extends his stay at the Spanish club till 2021. The deal is worth a reported €570,000 a week with a release clause of over €264 million. Lionel Messi has played for Barcelona in his entire career. He made his Barcelona debut on November 29, 2003 and has gone on to make 583 appearances for the club, scoring a record of 507 goals for his teammates. That's all we have on news now. Thanks for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.